Well, how the hell are you? Welcome to seeing this mush again. It's been a while. I've been hiding behind my avatar. No, I haven't. I just couldn't be bothered to put my face on it. So here I am in all my glory. And before we go on any further, I'm going to show you what I got up to today, guys. Okay, so that was muted. Well, isn't that good? Oh, wow. I'm going to have to play it again. Sorry. Bear with. You see, I thought I could mute my own. I thought I had to mute my own microphone because otherwise you get an echo. But hey, what do I know? Okay, we'll start again, guys. Yeah, you can hear me, but you can't hear the video, yeah? You couldn't hear the video, no? Okay. Can you hear the video now? Can you hear it now? I think I have to be in here for you to hear it. All trial and error, guys. All trial and error. You should be able to hear that now. Oh, God. Such a twat. I had to go back to the shop because I'd forgotten this. I left it on the table. So I had to go back and get it. Just as well I remembered when I got to the car. So I've just had a lunch date with my bestie who I've known since my kids were babies. My second child was a baby when I met this one, and she's just gone. I just waved her off, and I've had to walk all the way back into the garden centre to get this because I'd left it on the table, because that's how I roll, guys. I like to keep my water with me. Ta-da! Anyway, so now I'm heading home. So, yeah, I did take a picture of the meal. I had ham. Oh, it's really nice ham. I had ham, about 6 chips, really chunky chips, and 2 eggs. Nice. Enjoyed it, I did, very much. She had crispy chicken in brioche and chips. See, I don't like brioche as a sort of bun. If I'm going to have like a bun for a burger, I want it to be a bun, a proper bun. I don't want it to be brioche. Thanks. Anyway, she had that and enjoyed it, and we've just sat here going over things. You know, I tell you, when we were younger, she's got 4, I've got 4, and we sort of had them in between each one of us. So our kids have grown up together, and yeah, so when we meet up, we just go over. You know, we've always got 1,001 things to talk about and to remember. It's good to reminisce, you know. And I'll always remember when we were sort of back in our heyday as 20-year-olds. Well, yeah, mid 20-year-olds, and we used to walk around with the kids in their pushchairs because we used to live in the same town at the time. It's actually called Wembley. Those of you that are into sports will know what Wembley is. That's where we used to live. And yeah, we used to see each other an awful lot. We used to go to mother and toddler groups together, and nursery and everything. So yeah, she really is my bestie. So don't see her as often as I should, because we've always got things going on. But the good thing is, when we do see each other, it's just like you just pick up from where you left off, really. That's what a real friend is, you know. And yeah, we're just the same as we were. But nowadays we're like, after the initial hugs, we sort of step back and look at each other and say, how the hell have we got to this age? I can't believe we got to this age. But yeah, so she's a lovely girl. Love my friend. Love my Reet Petite, as I call her. So now I'm heading off. I just thought I'd come on, do a little vid for you. And the weather's changing. Looks like it's going to rain any minute. So I'm going to head home. But spring is in the air. I was looking around at all the flowers in there, guys. Oh my God, love the flowers. Start the engine, turn the radio off. Oh, it's off. And yeah, so it's a bit expensive in there for plants. So I don't normally buy plants in there unless there's an odd one that I just simply must have. You know what that's like. So yeah, I don't normally buy in there. We normally just come in. Oh, it's the wrong way. They go this way. We normally meet up quite a bit in the summer. It's just sort of in between both our places. I think driving. It takes about 25 minutes to get to her, so it's not far. So yeah, that's it. Hope you're having a good week. I've been half asleep all week. Can I go up there? Yeah, I can. The daffodils are out. I like that. I love seeing the flowers coming out, and I've got a tree outside my house, and it's got blossom on it. Sadly, it's white blossom. I'd rather like it if it was pink, but yeah, it's just white blossom, but it is there. So I love that. Love that a lot. Oh, there's so many blowing roadworks. It's mad. It's madness. So yeah, I'm now in the car at 3 o'clock, so I'm probably going to get all the sort of the mums driving now. It's a good time. That's a good time to be out on the road. Anyway, I might go live soon. Been half asleep lately. Some people would say you're always half asleep, Jan, let's be honest. But yeah, but I've been busy as well, so I'm just going to call into, I think I might call into this shop here. How am I doing for time? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm going to go and pick my son and his girlfriend up in a couple of hours. But for now, I think I've got time to nip into this shop. Where have I missed it? Oh, I think I've missed the shop. The shop's further up that way, and I ain't going that way because there's all traffic, lines and lines of traffic. Right, I'm going because I'm rambling. I'll speak to you very soon. Just take care of yourselves. Love ya. Well, there you go. That's what I did today. Wasn't it exciting? It was exciting. I'm still messing about with this. Here we go. We're back in the room. Anyway, so that's what I did today. I met up with my bestie. We chatted and chatted and chatted and chatted. She's actually Italian. Both her parents are Italian. And they're both gone now, God love them. But yeah, they were lovely people. Obviously, because we were best friends for forever. I met her family and we got on really well. And why am I going on about that? I don't know. I was hoping that I would have a guest to come up so that we could discuss things. Let's see if she looks at her Twitter at some point because I've left her a message on there. Yes, it was. It's somewhere that we go. It's like a garden centre, so we sit with all the blue rinsers, and we just sit and chat. And because we've got four kids each, there's always something to talk about. I got my hair. What? You got your hair did? No, this is my natural. This is our natural with straighteners. It's naturally curly, which I don't like. People spend a fortune getting their hair curly, and I like mine straight. Yeah, so this is like after getting out the bath, drying it, and then just straighten it. So that's so natural. No wigs today. I like wigs though. Thank you. Thank you. I like wigs. I've got a few. Hi. 20 minutes. You're going to be done in 20 minutes, Edna. Okay, that means I've got to talk for 20 minutes. But I want Edna on because we've got some discussing to do, us girls. We've got to put the world to rights. I mean, my channel isn't about what I'll do, Edna, is I'll give you the link anyway, and then when nobody wants to see that. I'm trying to get rid of that, guys. How do I get rid of that now? Oh, I know. Um, oh my God, if I only had a brain. I should have been on The Wizard of Oz, shouldn't I? um, okay, let me see. It's 10 Celsius. It's 12 Celsius. I don't know what that is over here because we do it in like, we had it was 12 something or other today, which I think is probably different to your one. Yeah, she's coming up on panel in a little while, so bear with, guys. In the meantime, you just have to put up with this. Sorry. And I don't want to get onto the subject that Edna and I will be talking about because I want to save it. So we're going to have to talk about something entirely different. Now, let me think. Don't know what we can talk about. Don't know what we can talk about. I can talk for England, guys. Just chat and chat and chat and chat. So, yeah, this is the first time. It's the first time for a couple of things. It's the first time I'm using this wonderful mug my daughter bought me. It says something about being born in November, and gives a spark. People born in November are full of spark. And what does it say? Are full of spark and light up the dark. Oh, my daughter bought me that. Bless her. Um, whereabouts are you? Grateful Live. I like that actually. Grateful. That's nice. We should all be grateful, shouldn't we? You know, because there's so many people much worse off than us. Yeah, I think we're Celsius. So we were in the double figures today. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And it was quite nice. It was almost spring-like. And yeah, it was like, I'm loving this. So I whack up the music in the car. Always played my music loud. Don't so much nowadays because I don't like to upset the neighbours. But in the car, I'm like, sod it, whack it up. West Coast, Colorado. Oh, yeah, she is. I tell you, I've got two daughters. They're both very different, actually. West Coast, Canada. Oh, you're in Canada. Okay. I don't know much about Canada. I know one of my son's best friends moved out there years ago. Where did he go? Seattle? That's not Canada, though, is it? I think he was on the border. Just ignore me. I've got 20 minutes to fill out until Madam comes up. So yeah, so is Seattle in Canada or is that America? Not great. Not great on America. Do you know, when I was at school, I used to love geography. I loved it. And now it's like, I mean, I've got quite a few American friends and I've got relatives in the States. I talked to a cousin who's in New York. New York City, she calls it. It's a place called Albany. She lives there. And I've got cousins left, right, and centre, all in America. I've got a few over here, but quite a few are in Los Angeles. Have I got any in Miami? Las Vegas, yeah. So they keep trying to get me over there, guys, but I'm fighting it. I don't think me and America would really go together because no. And there's certain things about America that scare the living daylights out of me. There's Aska. Can you see Aska? Look, never far away. She's always near her mum. But she's not happy with me today because I've been out for most of the day. And yeah, I was absolutely shattered when I got home today, and I thought, oh, I could nap. And then I thought, no, don't nap. It's bad enough that you go to bed at stupid o'clock. Never mind having a nap at a stupid time. Um, yeah, yeah, my cat, she's always around me. Never ever goes out the front unless I'm out there. Like, I can be out all day and I'll never come back and find her out the front. She'll be actually, I don't normally lock her out, but sometimes in the summer I might let her out if I'm going out for a couple of hours. But in the winter, she just goes out to do her doings, um, because I don't know, I can't keep her out. She's only Diddy. I can't have her freezing. So yeah. Come to Canada. We love opinionated people here. Ah, yeah. They don't like me over here. No, that's not true. Um, I've always been opinionated. Even as a kid, I was very opinionated, just the way I am. Aska is beautiful. She is, isn't she? Love my Aska. Hi, Ray. How are you, sweetheart? I hope you're well. I hope you're well. So I went round the shops today and oh my God, my legs were heavy and I was like, I just felt tired today. You know, sometimes you get days like that. I have weeks like that, guys. And I was like, oh, I just feel so tired today. But anyway, it was quite nice to be out and about. Oh, and then there was this. I always stop for coffee. Can't help it. My family, we're the same. We're the type of family that when we go out, it doesn't matter where we are, it doesn't matter what country we're in. When we're out on a shopping trip, we go to at least 2 coffee shops because we like our coffees. So anyway, so I stopped to have a coffee today and sat outside because it was quite pleasant and because of my old and all of a sudden I could hear this woman hollering. I thought, what on earth's that? So I'm sort of looking around. It was this woman in a wheelchair. I don't know how old she was, but she was being pushed. She was old. Do you know what I mean? My age. Being pushed by her son because they look quite similar. She had the worst fisherwoman's voice I've ever heard in my life. She was screaming, "Where are we going? Where are we going? Are we going?" And she's having a go at her son, who's pushing the wheelchair. And they stopped right by me. So there were a couple of guys sort of that was sat outside having their coffee as well. And you know, like you look at people and you go like that. We sort of did that a couple of times because we were like, oh my God, this woman was awful. And I just thought, can you imagine living next door to somebody like that? It was just dreadful. Her voice really carried as well. Everybody could hear this woman screaming with like the worst raspy, screechy type of voice I think I've ever heard. And I thought, please, God, go away. You're spoiling my tea. You're spoiling my coffee. And my, what did I have? I had a lemon drizzle muffin. And so I'm sat there and this guy's trying to chat to me. And I'm like, well, you can go away. So antisocial, guys. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so all of a sudden, this guy, I couldn't believe it. 2 of them was bad enough. All of a sudden, you get the dad come out of the shop with like, I think it was a pram, but he'd got like laden it up with things. So she's going, "Where are you going?" And he responded in exactly the same way. and they were swearing like troopers. I thought, God, go away. Don't come shopping when I come shopping. Jesus. But it did give us onlookers quite a laugh. Oh, right, let's see. How are you, darling? Right, have we got, I'm sure people everywhere love you, Jan. You're fun. Yeah, I am actually. I'm a nutter. Don't hide that fact. Never have, never will. Um, but yeah, I like to have a laugh. I love to laugh long and loud and clear. You ask Rye. Rye's been following me for years. Poor Rye. He's still here though. He's gorgeous. What have you got to say, darling? You're good. Been super busy. That's always good to hear. Um, I agree. Canada doesn't appeal to me. I'm sorry, whoever asked me to go, but it's too cold. It's too cold. Listen, I've got invites all over the place from my newfound relis. I've got one that wants me to go to Jamaica, and I'm like, I don't know if I can manage the flight. It's like what, 10 hours? Imagine me, this. On a plane for 10 hours. I don't know if I can do it. Because the thing is, when I fly, I normally take some sort of calming pills. And they only last for 4 hours. So how am I going to do 8 hours? I'm going to have to take like another pill halfway across the ocean. um, okay. Come on back. You've moved house. Yeah, I think you told me about that, Rye. See, I remembered this time. I forgot last time. No, I've not moved house. Still in the same abode. But I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to spring. Looking forward to spending most of my days outside. I love that. Um, I'm an outdoor person, but only when the weather's nice, not when it's cold. When it's cold, I like to be inside in my own home. So yeah, looking forward to doing lots of things. I've decided I'll have a sip of this. Hang on. I've decided I want to restyle my garden this year. Don't know how I'm going to do it. And the worst thing is, I like to buy poles. Sounds stupid, but I like to buy poles and then I paint them. I paint them all different things, like some with dots on them, some with stripes, and so that they look a bit like totem poles or whatever. Um, so I like to paint them and then stick them in the garden. The problem is me, because I can't dig a hole deep enough for the pole. So if we have a bit of a gust, the pole gets sent, they get, sort of come down like Skittles. So I don't know whether I can come up with a design where I can use the poles sort of in a horizontal way instead of vertically. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sort of thinking of what I can do because I like my poles, just something I like in the garden. I've also decided I'd rather like a raised bed. I bet you're really interested in this, guys. Sorry. So, I'd really like. Why did you come on? Oh, I said sorry, and Siri came on. Look, no, Siri, go away. Um, Yeah, so I'd also like some raised beds because my garden's not very big. But what I'd like to do is have like different levels. So yeah, that's probably going to be my project for this summer. I've always got a project in the summer. I'll probably go back to painting stones again, which I enjoy. Um, they make me happy. They're easy to do. They're fun to do. So yeah, I'll probably be outside painting them again, which is good. It's difficult. Okay, here she comes. Here she comes. Um, it's difficult because I wanted to, I do an art show every year. Um, I didn't really want to put any um paintings in this year. I thought that I might put in some stones this year and some rocks that I've painted, like this monster that is going to have to come off of my desk because it's making a mess. Ah, right, like this one. Can you see that? That's one of my painted rocks. So I was thinking I might. God, it's bloody heavy though. I was thinking I might put that in the exhibition this year. Um, but it's already gone. The exhibition, there's no spaces for stones or so that's a bit annoying. And I haven't put any of my art in there because I haven't really done any new artwork recently. Hello there, Edna.
Hello, Jan. How are you? Hello, chat.
I'm good. Hang on, I have to balance that on my wall.
No worries.
Have you finished work?
I have. As soon as we're supposed to stay until like the last minute. If we get a case, we're supposed to take the case and finish it to the end. And I got a doozy of the case, and I just found mistake after mistake after mistake.
Mm,
So
how annoying.
it, you know,
Whereabouts are you, honey?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Missouri, but I work.
Missouri. So that's
Yes,
mid America, is it?
yes, the Midwest. So, yeah, it's kind of. I'm trying to think. Missouri, St. Louis. I don't want to say too much, Jan, because
No,
it's a small
no, I
town.
don't want you to dox
Yeah,
yourself. I just wondered where
I
you were.
know.
I was going to talk about time zones. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yes. So it's four. It's almost 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon here.
Okay, so we're 5 hours ahead of you.
Oh, okay. So it's the evening time for you.
Yeah. Yeah, oh
Okay, I
yeah,
see.
it's dark. It's like, what is
Yes.
it? It's 9:25 here.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm
So,
just shutting down my computer, making sure everything looks good. Okay,
okay.
awesome.
What
Okay, I saw your video. I was listening, but I couldn't like chat because I needed to focus. But I heard you talking about meeting your friend and um
I was just rambling as you do.
yeah, well, I just love, I like your voice, your accent. It's just nice to hear you talk.
Is it?
It
Most people
is.
most people blank me out.
No, I think that's one thing I've realized about myself is that I like listening to I don't know, there's a certain quality to people's voices that I like is maybe an accent or it's a like a cadence that they have is I don't know, it's relaxing, it's nice, it kind of feels like a hug in a sense.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I mean, I like voices as well. I like your voice. I think you've got a nice voice, nice and soft voice. Um, we've got somebody who thinks come over from uh
Hey, the
what's her
back
name?
shot.
Timber. Hello.
It's
Welcome.
Timber.
Welcome. Right, you know what we want to talk about, don't you, Missy?
I do. I was listening a little bit too.
Oh my God. Where do we start? Can we start with the fact that it's all what I want to say firstly is um Hi. Yeah, I know. Timber's adorable, isn't she? I really like
Yes,
her. I hope she
love
comes in as
Timber.
well. Um, yeah, what I wanted to start with was it's all well and good saying, uh, I don't mind what people say in my chat because, you know, then it shows, I've got no bias. Uh, uh, uh. I don't think that works because
Mhm.
what it does is when somebody like me comes in, I get like a barrage of abuse thrown at me. I get insults one after the other, after the other,
Do
after
you,
the
Jen?
other. Even even some of the mods do it.
Okay, Jen, what are you
We're
saying?
talk
What are you doing? Because
we're talking
nobody's innocent, right? But you, what I gonna, I was gonna say something, I don't know. But you seem like a sweetheart. I don't see the drama.
right. The drama, hang on, I'm just trying to do something. Can you still see
Okay,
me? Can
I
you still
can.
see me? Right.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
drama is because there are certain people that Yo Mama has aligned himself with that
Mhm.
don't like me. The reason
Well,
they
hold
don't
on. I
like
don't think.
me.
Wait. I don't think your mom is aligning himself. I think that's strong language to say that he's aligning
Oh
himself
no,
because
I
he
think
tries to say that he's not. Who do you think he's
he
aligned with?
has. He's aligning himself with the petty fam. I've seen him
Oh,
in
I
their
don't know the
live
petty
chat.
fam. Okay.
Yeah, right. Now, the petty fam don't like me. The
Mm.
petty fam are the ones that come in, say I look like Chewbacca, um,
No.
insult me. Yeah, they're just horrible. They're just
You know
nasty,
what, Jen?
nasty people.
People don't realize what it takes to be a creator. And they don't realize the comments that they put, they sting. Words mean things.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
and they think because you're an adult or because you're on screen or whatever, it's like you can hurt my feelings or whoever, whoever's on screen. They have feelings. They're real people like anyone else. So when you're
Mm,
talking about their background or whatever, it's not some set that, a company put together. That's their home. That's their where, but people don't think that.
yeah. Well, I mean, the hatred from them stems from me talking to Vicky Vibes
Okay.
about blackface and basically calling her out because she said that she didn't think Hussey did blackface. So I asked her a few questions. They
Hmm.
didn't like the questions I asked her because I was very straightforward. I was very, you know,
Right. So
dogmatic,
I mean,
whatever.
I I
So
don't really
because
have
of
a big
that,
issue with. Okay, sorry. I'll let you continue. Sorry.
well, because of that,
Mhm.
they hate me. So they've tried to paint me as a certain
I'm sure
person.
they don't hate you, Jan.
Uh,
That's strong language. You're a
Well,
lovely woman.
have you seen them in Yo
N
Mama's chat? I've actually got his
No.
page come up here. Let me see if I can get his last one up. The thing is, I blocked. See, I won't be able to show you too many insults because I blocked all of Petty Fam.
You
You
know
know, like
what? I blocked a couple of people too, and I actually unblocked them because I got in my feelings and I was like, I don't want to see them. But then I
no,
thought, why is that? Yeah. But go ahead.
no, I block them because
Mhm.
I'm not going to go. Why should I be
Oh no, I
abused?
understand.
Why should I
Yeah.
be insulted? You know, just
Well, for me,
because.
yeah.
Um, hang on
Well, I
one
blocked
sec.
people because I just didn't want to see. Hey, young thickum.
Hi,
I didn't want
young
to.
chickens.
Yeah. I didn't want to see the nonsense, like I we all like to be a little messy. We like to be in the drama or see the drama, but I don't want to be in it. I don't want to feel like I'm participating, right?
Yeah,
So that's what it was for me is when I felt like it was a little too close to home, like I started to feel some kind of way, I just blocked people because I'm here for fun.
yeah. Well,
Mhm.
it's the same with me. I mean, you look at my videos on my channel, most of them I'm just having a really good laugh and
Mhm.
just having fun. They don't see that because I spoke to Vicky in such a way, they've now tainted me as somebody who is nasty, who is spiteful, who goes into chats just to cause an argument and
Mhm.
this, that, and the other. So when I go into Yo Mama's chat, because he's always, praising them and everything, I just
Mhm.
block them all because I just got fed up with the insults. And then you get the hangers on that I've never spoken to before in my life, who then say,
Oh, it's
"Oh,
just like the supporters of the people that don't like
Jan's
you?
this, Jan's that."
Oh.
And I'm like, "You don't even know me, you know? That the person I
Absolutely not.
am."
Like, how could we? It's just on YouTube. I mean, like, we e it's really interesting because we know a lot about some, like, people have shared a lot about themselves.
Mhm.
So in one regard, it's like, yes, we can't say we don't know people or aspects of people, but at the same, on the other hand, it's like we don't know them in the sense of we don't know them personally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's like, they start saying things that are, like, really ridiculous. "Oh, well, it's funny how you were friends with DC the other week, and you said this and you said that." And it's like, have they all got photographic memories? They're gonna tell me what I said. They're gonna tell me
They
how I live
do.
my life. It's just so stupid.
Yeah. But the thing is, when you hear something that's crazy, it's like it's imprinted on your brain, though, right? So who knows what they heard that they're like, okay, no, I know what it was because it stuck out to them. But I don't. The thing is, we get so wrapped up in these chats sometimes because I do it too, where I'll start commenting. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm talking to Foodie, I'm talking to whomever. I am. Let me go calm down. You know what I mean? Let me go.
I don't. And that's where I think there is a real problem with with viewers, I hate to say it, because and also with certain creators, because I've got a busy life away from sitting here on the internet. I don't come on until the evening. Sometimes I stay on until the early hours, but that's because I'm always working at that time. That's when I do my most creative things. Um, so I may have, if I see somebody's live, I might think, oh, I'll put that on because, I've got a Mac, I can have two screens going at the same time. So
Right.
I'll put that on. And sometimes, I'll chat in there. And it's like every time I go into Yo Mama's, there's always people that are going to start insulting me. And I'm
Wow.
like,
Well, and
why?
that's to the
And yet,
backshot point, you gotta have thick skin in this YouTube world. I wouldn't want to be a creator. Absolutely. That's why I thought it was a hard stop for me once I saw where it was going with the doxing and calling people's jobs and things. That's way too much.
it's awful. Yeah, some of the viewers and creators feed toxicity and enjoy the weird, obnoxious displays of behavior. Absolutely. That I
Mhm.
agree with that 100%, especially I think I don't want to just say in the girl world because I think it goes on in so many different areas
Oh, I'm sure
of
it does.
YouTube.
Yeah.
But I think in this tiny corner that's called, girl world, I had
Like
somebody,
amplified.
yeah, I had somebody in Yo Mama's chat say to me, "Oh, well, you used to talk about foodie and you've done this." And I said, I've never spoken about foodie. One, because she doesn't interest me. Two,
Mhm.
because I don't like her. Three, because I don't want her on my channel. And they came back with, "Oh, well, you've got a short memory." And I thought, what do you have to do? It's like these people keep on and on and on, and
Mhm.
it's on you to prove them wrong. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't care. Think what you want to think.
I
If you
don't
want to
get it.
think that,
Yeah.
that's fine. You
Why
know?
would you I mean, they can think whatever they want. The thing is, it wouldn't matter to me one way or the other because I think people like YouTube has really shifted in my mind from being a place where I go from for content where I'm expecting to see a short video to learn how to do something or to get information quickly to be much more of a hangout like social space where I feel like I'm like hanging out with people where not just in girl world. I mean, like I've been on like different aspects of YouTube where just hanging out with people trading because I'm into crypto. So I'm watching people trade as like the charts are moving up and down and we're kind of going through the waves and doing like kind of talking through those kind of that setting, financial. Also with
Yeah,
art. There was a woman that I follow who was going through a healing journey with being diagnosed with cancer and she was going through therapy and doing art as part of her healing. So she was doing streams with that. And there's people do working streams, study streams. So when it comes to the streaming, like the streaming aspect and is what really drew me in. And then the social aspect as well, because to see people talk through alcoholism, domestic violence, like all of drug use, all of these heavy topics that are real life, and we're seeing it play out in front of our eyes. That's amazing and fascinating to me. Like I can't look away.
yeah. I'm with
Mhm.
you on that. Sometimes if I'm bogged down with my work, I'll think, "Oh, let me see who's on," and that's when
Right.
I'll pop into someone's live stream. But I watch an awful lot of other things as well. I watch a lot of true crime, and I watch a lot of aviation
Mhm.
and, art as well. I like
Mhm.
to watch somebody start with a blank canvas and paint. That's great for me, and when I am
Right.
creating myself, I can be inspired by people that do that. So there is another world. There is still a non-toxic world on YouTube, but it's a
Well, you
bit
know what?
like I think, I'm like you. I think I would be lying if I said,
Mhm.
I don't sometimes I laugh, I laugh when Timber really goes in for Foodie Beauty. That
Right?
makes me laugh.
I hate it, but I love it. And it's like that's the whole thing. It's like the best and the worst of us. Like, and I don't deny it. Like I'm not an angel, but I'm also not a devil, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm not mad at it. It's just YouTube. Like, I think it's fine to kind of have these back and forths and kind of rah on the platform and call people out and, have that verbatim. But it's where you start doxing people. You're knocking on neighbors' doors, you're filming people out in public and different things like that. That's where it's like, okay, we're outside the comfort of our homes, outside the comfort of YouTube. That's taking it too far.
oh yeah. What I've seen happening over the past few months, is just mind-blowing, really. And I think
Mhm.
what it proves to me is that those people must have very little else. Their lives, it's like Foodie, right?
Mhm.
What life does she have? She doesn't have a life other than switching on her phone. She still streams after how many years, after earning how much money. She still streams off of a phone, so
Well, I mean,
What
that's her
else does she
business.
do, though? What else does she do? She doesn't do anything else. Her whole life is is YouTube, and that to me is really, really sad. And I think
Mhm,
it's the same with the attic dwellers. What do they do?
mhm,
They don't do anything. They stream virtually all day, and then they lost their
mhm.
YouTube. I think it must take an awful lot for somebody to lose their YouTube. I've done all sorts of content on my channel, but I haven't been abusive and I
Right.
haven't attacked people. Now, other people that want to paint me in a dark light
Mhm.
could pick out a video, like if I'm really upset about something like Black Lives
Right.
Matter, and, and I feel that somebody's doing,
It's like
blackface.
they misunderstand your passion for
Yeah.
hatred. It's like 'cause that's what people don't realize, like, even with, like, FFG and Foodie, I think it's more like FFG cares for her, like, she wants better for Foodie. I think that's what a lot of what is interpreted as hate is, like, people think you can do better, like, they want the person to do better, and they're angry that they're not doing better,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And is I get it, but at the same time, it's like, it's a reason why they're not doing better. They don't know better.
Mm, yeah, there's no need for any of that weirdo behavior. Doxing is beyond unnecessary. Well, I've told my doxing story, so I'm not gonna
Mhm,
say it all over again, but yeah, I was doxed very heavily, and I now see one of my main doxers doing quite well on YouTube now,
mhm. She's
and
very talented.
yeah, I can't say she's not, and she's doing
Mhm.
very well. I just give her a wide berth. I could start doing videos about her, but because I know how evil she is, why poke the bear? That's the way
I
I
don't
think.
think she's evil though,
Oh,
Jan.
she
I
was
don't
to
know her,
me. She was to
but
me.
well, okay. So let me say this. I think that it would be nice to maybe let there be some grace because none of us are perfect. We're all human and we make mistakes. And we all wanna be in this space, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I get that, it hurt that was serious, but or not but, I just let that settle, that hurt, and that's not okay. At the same time, I think that if you wanna address it, that's valid. Address it.
The only reason I don't address it is
Mhm.
because I promised my daughter I would never, ever have anything more to do with them because she was so upset about it. That's the one thing that holds me back. Agreed, but
Okay.
also, why would anyone find it appropriate or justifiable to dox anyone? Exactly. And to do it in
Because
such a
they get
way,
I
you
think people
know,
get caught up in the drama, in the whatever, and they wanna go so hard, and they forget, like, I remember when I was a kid, I would get so competitive playing a game. They'd be like, "Girl, calm down." Like, you just get hyped up, and they're still just getting hyped up, and people don't realize just because it's public knowledge or just because it's public record or just because it's not technically illegal or whatever, like it is morally or is socially impolite, like, let's have a little bit more decorum or whatever about behaving ourselves certain ways, things like that. But at the
yeah,
same time, emotions run high and people forget.
I agree with you. I do agree with you, but I don't agree. I think the step further is when they engage with other people, when they engage with other people who have such a hate boner for you that they're
That's
willing to do anything,
yeah.
that is different. You know, if
That's
it's
what's
just
really
one
hurtful
person
to me.
against one person, then yeah, fair enough. You can maybe, have a conversation with that one person. But I had
Mhm.
groups, I had a
I
hashtag
hear you.
made against me, ban
It's like a
Jan.
whole campaign. Jan, it's like
I
you gave
had
them a reason to unite.
I gave them a reason. No, you don't have to give them
Not
a
a reason,
reason.
but it's like you it's like they people it's like you need to have an enemy. You know what I mean? You have to have something to fight against. Y- To it's like the yin and the yang, right? If you're all on the same side, there's no fun. Like you can't play a game without having an opponent.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that, but I
And it's
think
like they're taking it too far. It's like you don't have to be so serious, you don't have to be so ruthless or whatever with it. Like that's I don't agree with, because what you shared, that was not okay. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. But I think the fun of like in your mama spirit, I think the way he tries to go about it, even though and it was funny because I was watching Lil Yo Mama and he was talking about how everybody got him for going after Abby W, right? And I think he gets it, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. Like you can have the fun back to back, like between how him and Monty was doing whatever. Not to say it was fun, but without it being, like, over the top, cause you see Your Mama isn't going like Ham and Monty. Monty isn't going Ham and Your Mama. But I'm sure if it comes up again, they'll address it. And I think maybe that's more the approach where you can start with saying, like, "Listen, I wanna come back in this space. I wanna do X, Y, and Z, but to feel comfortable, I feel like I wanna say this." That's within your right to do that.
yeah, but I don't wanna go back in that space. That was the drama community, and I don't want to
Okay.
go back in there, and I would never go back in there. It's like I've said before, I feel like I'm a lone wolf. I don't need other people. I don't need
But we do
to
need other
follow.
people.
No, I don't. Not online, I don't,
Even online, you want
you
community.
know? And
If
and
you're
I
gonna
like
be online doing this, you don't wanna have other creative friends or, people that you can,
oh,
talk about
yeah, like
StreamYards or whatever. Yeah.
oh, yeah, and I do. I do have people that I can talk to. And I mean, you're happy to come on and chat with me. That's
Hey.
good. Um, but I think people put too much, how can I put it? People gang up, and I don't like gangs,
Mhm.
period.
Oh, yeah.
I entirely valid to create your own space, discussing what feels right for you. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And I feel, yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not open for friendships or,
Mhm.
I'm not I don't enjoy having conversations with other creators because I do. Um but what I'm saying is would never jump on a bandwagon to hate on somebody to the degree that some of these people do. And I mean, it's like with Chantel. I can't stand her. I really cannot stand her. Um, but I don't jump on a hate train. I feel that I don't like her because I don't like her, not because somebody who I chat to doesn't like her. Do you see what I
Mhm.
mean? I think there's a
Right. No,
difference.
yeah. I think for me, I don't really look at things well, I do look at things as like, "Oh, I really like this, I don't like that," but I try not to. I try to be as neutral as possible, kind of, to have non-attachment, but, which I need to work on that. Getting back to that. I used to be more like that. But, just because it doesn't matter, like, if it's good or bad or right or wrong or, in some respect, it does matter, but it's always nuance. That's what I mean to say. Where it's so much context that goes into, X, Y, and Z to too much energy to, like, narrow in on some of these topics sometimes. because it's like
Yeah,
to say who's right in this back and forth or this head to head, you have to know all the background, to know like this person did this and and it's like a whole web of people and interactions and streams and receipts, right? It's not that serious.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, I wish that were true. I really do. But
Mhm.
the real world, I don't. I see it differently, and
Okay.
I feel the only way, there's reasons why people say, only trust yourself. And, I'm a lot older than you. And
Mhm.
in my experience, I feel that's the right way to do it. I've coupled up with people online and then fallen out with them and for no reason. Well, it's not for no reason, it's various reasons, but um
Right.
reasons that I had nothing to do with really. Um but that's the way it goes. But I don't want to just talk about me and the way I am online.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what we were going to talk about, because I have a feeling we have different views on Yo Mama. Um, I At first I thought he was great. I thought he was a breath of fresh air. But now I'm sick and tired of every time I go over there, it's all about foodie. I don't go to Yo Mama to find out anything about foodie and to get such a, um, what's the word? Biased, dare I say, opinion on foodie. I don't like that. That's not what I go for. If I want to
Mhm.
catch up on foodie, I'll watch Monty, or I'll watch FFG, or I'll watch um what's her name? The one goes on about Kermit, Karina Kaboom. They're the people,
Oh, okay.
if I want to find out what's been happening in her world, they're the people that I will go and listen to. Um, I don't want to go into Yo Mama's when he is so blatantly avoiding the elephant in the room. I don't know how much longer I
Wait,
can
hold
do.
on. What's the elephant in the room?
The elephant in the room, as far as I'm concerned, is him backing Foodie, is him ignoring the obvious. I strongly dislike people being messy online. Online is a place for fun, and he likes the mess. Yes. I mean,
I
maybe
must
my
have missed it.
antenna is too sensitive, but
Mhm.
when I see him say it, and he goes so hard for FFG, and I don't like that. Why is he going so hard for her?
Is it the dry ponytail?
Is that what it is? I mean, am I looking uh, too hard
That's
at
what he
that? I
says. He
mean,
was talking about her tongue. But I'm just joking.
but
Oh
there's only
no,
so many times he can say about her dry ponytail.
it's like
I
too
think,
much.
yeah, I think there's too much. I think he's become really embroiled in disliking FFG, and
Well, it
he
goes
hasn't got a good
into
reason
him
for
not
it.
treating her. Yeah, well, it goes into like not treating her like a person.
Exactly.
You would never talk about somebody like that in person. And I feel bad because I talked about him. 'Cause I remember I was talking about his hair and his laugh, talking about his laugh, and now I think about it, I'm like, oh, I'm a little embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, yo, mom. I didn't mean. I hope your feelings were hurt. But it's just like you get into it and you get rah rah. But I don't know. She's the big dog, right? So he's coming hard.
Yeah, but why be so personal about it? It just makes me wonder. It really does make me wonder why he hates her so much, and I don't like the things he says about her. I just think it's really mean. Um, Hi, Lucy. We're talking about Yo Mama. Um, yeah, I just think, and he's following the same pattern over and over and over again. It'll always be, he'll be talking about um, uh, Foodie, and
Mhm.
then he'll then start slagging off FFG. Why? Why? What has FFG actually done?
Well, because FFG is part of the Foodieverse. She's the person that you need to knock out to be the top person. So if
Is
he
that what it
wants to be
is?
a big name, I feel like he has to bring up, he feels like he has to bring up FFG. That's why he does it.
Um, Young Thickham says, when men enjoy demeaning women, that makes me see them differently. I'm the same.
Incredibly.
Don't I mean,
Weak sauce.
did we all laugh when he was going for garlic bread? Yeah, maybe. But then you don't I don't know. I just feel that he rams it. He rams it in hard against FFG. I'm
Mhm.
beginning to think that he does it because he wants to be recognized for that. So he
Right.
wants to gain monetarily um, from that.
Mhm.
He will then
Everybody wants
argue,
some of
well,
that
isn't that
FFG
what?
bag.
But
Everybody's doing this. Yeah.
but he'll then argue that, oh yeah, but that's because um, everybody does that. And I'm like, well, everybody that you're looking at might do that. I don't do that. That's one of
Mhm.
the reasons why I wouldn't talk about Foodie. I can't stand that. So what am I going to do? Put the camera on and say I can't stand that bloody great big lump. I hate
Mhm.
her with a passion. I mean, that to me isn't content.
Right.
I'd much rather put together an art video, or, do a bit of vlogging, or do a
Mhm.
bit of live streaming. I mean, my numbers have gone because I don't talk about what other people want me to talk about. I went through a phase of doing it, but
Right.
I don't wanna do it. I don't wanna come across as being somebody who really hates on people, because I'm
Right.
not like that. I'm like, "Just you do your thing."
Mhm.
So, what I find with her, let's see if I can what I find with him, let's see if I can, add this now. Share screen. Yo mama. Right, okay, so he should come up here. Where you gone, girly? Are you there? Oh, you are there. Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Right. Okay. Now let's look at what his channel's all about. Okay. And I've tried to sort of make this point when I've been in the chat, while I'm sort of ducking missiles and things and tomatoes.
Oh my good. Is it that dangerous?
Now,
I'm more of a lurker anyway, so I don't really know.
you're so sweet. I wish I lived in your world.
Do you?
um, right. Okay. Now he likes Jessica Messica. I can't stand her. So,
Jessica too.
sorry?
She has a I like I'm sorry, I do like so what I like about Jess I don't there's I thought I already said this, right? Like there's a quality about her where she says it plainly, like she's self-aware, she's trying, I like that.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. We all like different things. People like different things. Like, the world would be a very sort of boring place if we all like the same people. So, that's fair enough. I'm not going to not talk to you because you like Jessica Messica, you
Thank
know.
you.
Um, But when you look at his channel, I always used to think he
Mhm.
came really hard for Just Breezing. I'll tell you how I
Okay.
met Just Breezing, how I first came across Just Breezing. It was when I was looking for an art video, and she came up and it was something like, let's do art and chat or something like that. And I thought, oh, this might be interesting. Well, she sat there with her art. I like Jessica too. She's interesting and very rational when she discusses her opinions. Yeah, I know a lot of people do like her, but I'm not going to slag her off. I'm just going to say she's not really my cup of tea. Maybe I need to watch her some more. I don't know.
Mhm.
But anyway, getting
Well,
back to
and I
just
think it maybe just depend on when you jump in because I know there's been some times that I've like jumped into a live where I think they were mainly like with her kids and everybody screaming and they're just having like a chaotic time, right? And I was not like I was not ready for it. So I was like glad you guys are having a good time and I was out. But it's also been but it's also been times where they were, like, screaming, and it was so fun. They were out in the park. It was like a member stream, with the kids, and it almost felt I was like, "This is the next best thing to actually touching grass." You know what I mean? Like, it was fun being, like, virtually watching her. So it just depends, like, because I think a lot of it is that I'm not going to say that she's good or bad depending on what mood I'm in. Because I could be in a,
yeah,
like, yeah. So I
that's
think her
fair.
content is, yeah, it's valid.
I think that's fair and very valid. I mean, there's sometimes when I don't bother watching anything that's going on in girl world, and I'll spend the whole day watching planes, or I'll spend the whole time just playing music videos. You know, a lot of
Mhm.
it of what we do is dependent on how we're feeling at that moment. But all I can say is I've never really got her vibe. I've never really watched her for very long. I just find
Well,
this sort of
she's I think a lot of this time that she's been online, she's been struggling, right? So, like it's been coming out, she was dealing with the eviction and different things, whatever she was doing with Natter and stuff. Like you're not in a healthy space. She went to rehab. So I think now that she seems more settled and she, has some treatment and, everything, that we might see a better, like a more not better, but like we see maybe a more accurate representation of her?
people say she's a troll. Why do they say that?
Okay, so people are trolls, but the concept of a troll, I think you could be a good troll. I think a troll is just a persona that you play, where it's not necessarily who you are, but it's like an act, it's a performance.
Hmm. Yeah, sometimes girl world is dry. It is. How can you sit and watch Foodie day in, day out, doing nothing? She's not giving anything. And there's plenty of other content to suit the mood. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's such a shame when people are uh, uh, told off virtually for going into other people's chat. I've had people say to me, "Oh, I saw you in such and such a chat the other day."
It's
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
so yeah, I go, "Where
hope you're doing
alike?"
well." Right?
Yeah, and the funniest thing for me is it's difficult to sort of talk about it. I don't want it to all be about me, but
This is
the
your
funniest
channel,
thing.
Jan. It's all about you, ma'am. Let it out.
Uh, Um, the funniest thing for me is when I go in. I'll tell you what happened. Before I fell out with DC, um, she was always arguing with irate Alex. And I used to see some of the things he wrote online. And I remember once he used the C word when he was
Okay.
talking about her, and I thought, oh my God, that's just awful. That's just awful. Because I'm a bit funny like that, you know. I'm quite
Mhm.
sort of. We're not really a sweary family. Period. We are grown adults. No need for cliques. Exactly. And yes, please do tell Jan. Listen, young thickums, I'm never afraid to tell, and that's why a lot of people don't like me, because I will tell, and I'll go on panels and I'll tell them.
Right?
You
Well,
know,
sometimes people need to hear it, but the thing is, I feel like we have to tell them in a more compassionate way, and
that's
a
not
little bit
me,
more
though,
great.
darling. That's not
I
me.
but and that's where the Lord isn't done with us yet, right?
Yeah, that isn't me, darling. I mean, I'd like to be
Mm-hmm.
like, would I like to be like that? I don't know. I wouldn't be a
I
survivor.
do. I'm
Trust me.
learning how to talk to
Trust
people. I'm
me.
learning how to speak, how to communicate because it's like it's all fine to be passionate and X, Y, and Z and whoop de whoop, but if you're not able to convey your point, to express yourself effectively, it doesn't matter how passionate you are about it, right?
I want to play something. I know what you're saying. I acknowledge what you're saying. And I think for certain people it would work that way. Um, Let me see. And I'll have
Well,
you
I
on my
like you.
channel. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. I'll have to find your can you put a link to your, oh, I don't know if it'll accept it. What's the name of your channel? I'll come over. I want to show you something. Now, if I can just give you a bit of a backstory.
sure.
I was brought up in care. Had nobody in the world. Okay? From the
Hmm.
time I came from my mother's womb, I was put in a children's home, and I stayed there until I was 16. Now, in the home, you have to look after yourself. Okay?
Hmm.
For various reasons, I went to different homes because I tried out living with my actual birth mother, which went terribly wrong.
Mm,
So
I'm
I asked to
sorry.
go back to the home. I went back to the home, and they couldn't get me back in the home that I'd come from. Although I only lived with my mum for a year, I couldn't go back there because that home had disbanded. So all the kids were in different homes around London. So I went to a home where I didn't know anybody, and they were much older kids then, and I was 10, 11, and I didn't fit in. I mean, I fit in my other homes because I was brought up in them, but I was always a loner, always been a loner.
Hmm.
And um, let me just say hello to Tam. Hello, my darling. Tam's an old follower of mine.
Hello.
Hello, darling. Oh, that's okay. I'm happy to share my story. Um, yeah, so because I was brought up in this one home for the first 10 years of my life, they were my family. And
Right.
my place in that family was on my own. I was contented on my own, you know. So
Right.
anyway, go to live with my mum, that all goes wrong. So I say, I want to go back to the home, I want to go back to the home. And they couldn't get me back in there. So they put me in this other home that was much bigger. It was in a huge uh, school. It turned into a school in the end. It was massive. And the other kids there were horrible. I didn't I didn't get on with any of them. Um they just saw me as, and remember, I'm mixed race, so, and there weren't any other mixed race kids there. I was the only one there. Okay, so
Wow.
it was the first time I heard the N word. I'd never heard the N word before then. And that was when two little boys came to live in the home, and they were black. And there was this one boy in the home who was quite a bit older. I'd say maybe he was 14, something like that. And
Mhm.
he used to, I remember sitting in the playroom, and I was, as I say, 10, 11, and he called them little, N boy or something like that. And I just saw red, and I said, if you say that to him again, I'm gonna, really hit you or
Right.
something along those
Mhm.
lines. And he said it again, and I didn't think twice. I just went for this boy
Mhm.
and got hurt in the process, but I had to
Oh, I've
fight.
been there before, yeah.
I had to fight for these two little black boys that had come into the home,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
I still didn't know who I was particularly. So it wasn't because I've got a black skin or I've got a brown skin. It was just the fact that how dare this
Right. It's
guy?
just wrong is wrong, yeah.
Yeah, it's just wrong. Anyway, so that didn't go down too well, and I hadn't been there very long. Um, but I know for a fact that at that time in my life, my whole personality changed. And it was, to do with what I went through with my birth mother, and
Mhm.
also what I had to endure with the older kids in the home
Right.
then. I felt really, really alone. I remember
Right.
not wanting to go home after school. Um, and things like that. I just had a really hard time. So as an adult, I've still got that part of me. I'm still very
Right.
strong. I believe in truth.
It
I
doesn't go
believe in
away.
in
Yeah.
yeah, no. So for you to say, oh well, perhaps if you come at it from a different I can't. That's like saying, well, why don't you act like Josephine down the road? I can't because
Mm.
I'm me.
P
And
Jan, I know.
if it's something that I'm really passionate about, then I will speak loudly about it. I will
I
show a
understand
different side to
100%.
myself.
I was talking to somebody and I said, "Listen, I feel like in the views right now. I can't discuss this any further." Honestly, I understand, but at the same time, people don't care. If you know what I'm saying? Like they won't hear you. They shut down. It doesn't work. And it's so frustrating that I'm like, okay, I have to try something else.
Well, yes, again, I agree, but I think you can do it in such a way. If you believe something, then you have to stick with that belief.
Mhm.
You can't then be swayed by other people's opinion because you're living your life. You have your thoughts.
Yes,
You have
but
your
also I
beliefs.
don't I'll say this. I feel like you yes, you have your own thoughts. You have to live your life. You have to like hold steadfast to yourself. But you don't want to do it in a toxic way or in an abusive way to where you're like traumatizing everyone around you
Uh-huh.
like, cause like you're a hurricane on your path, right? And I
Yeah.
feel like even though, I'm nice or whatever, I did that a little bit within the community. And it's like I didn't mean to. I didn't understand that's what it was. But now that I'm reflecting, I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, let me calm down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you live, you learn.
Well, I mean, I think, I've chosen not to go into those environments anymore. And the
Hmm.
closest I really get is in Yo Mama's stream, which is a shame because I used to enjoy going in there. Now,
Hmm.
uh, I don't enjoy it so much because I feel that he's too biased and he allows people to verbally abuse other people in his chat. He needs to, I think he should take accountability for that. It's all well and good saying, oh, yeah, but my mods do that. No, they don't, because some of his mods
I
feel
hear
the
what you're
same
saying.
way,
Yeah.
you
Because
know?
he
So,
it is his chat, it's his channel. He sets the tone, and if he says it, that's how it would be. You're right.
yeah. But I mean, I go in other communities. I go in live streams where there's 5,000 people, 5,000 people with a common love, and that is for
Right.
aviation and planes. We never have arguments in there. We never have
Mhm.
fights in there. We recognize, you obviously you get like a core of the same people that go in. You get to know their names, you chat to them a bit. Um,
Right.
but it's not toxic. But and I know for a fact, there's one, perhaps two sometimes mods. I know for a fact if anyone was to speak to me like they speak to me in Yo Mama's chat, they'd be out. They'd be out of the
Right.
stream. And this is members only because it's a big channel. It's all like
Right.
only members only chat, but there's still thousands of us in there. But
But
I
Jan,
know
like,
for
girl
a fact.
world is toxic. Like, foodie
Mm,
is toxic. And I don't want to okay. Because I realized that Chantal Marie, she's a real woman. Like, I don't want to call her out, right? Because I give her grace. She's living her life. But so let me say this: the character, the content that we saw of and the ripples of it with the drug use and those toxic things, that's toxicity. So that's not aviation. You see what I'm saying? That's so it's not like just by the nature of the topic that's at hand, like somebody who is, foodie beauty size, like she's not, it's like, but like somebody who's 500 or 400, 300 pounds that's not health sitting up there eating, you know what I mean? Like she's talking about fasting and prayer and Islam and getting one with God and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time eating a bunch of candy bars and it's not to tear her down like morally, like she can't be a good Muslim because she overeats. But that's what people are talking about is the disconnect in the two. It's like if you're on the path of like enlightenment and all of that, it's like your health would be part of that.
I don't think she's got. I mean, you'll probably say, "Oh, Jan, that's really a vile thing to say," or whatever. But
I would never,
I
Jim. Say it.
I I just don't think she's got a spiritual bone in her body. Um, I'm I'm quite religious. Um, I find it insulting that she has picked a religion. Um,
Man, oh my goodness. Okay, so like Ramadan starts today or tomorrow. So
yeah,
I was reading the Quran. I was listening to the Quran and I was looking up wudu because, playing around in Monty's chat, I got the words wudu to Panani stuck in my head. And I was like, okay, let me stop disrespecting wudu and let me learn what it means truly,
uh-huh,
genuinely. The process and what are they talking about when they're talking about voodoo and the Nani and all that kind of stuff? Because it's only funny because I don't really know, right?
mhm.
And once I realized like the ritual, like what the cleaning is, like when they're talking about cleaning yourself, it's like you're presenting yourself to the world, like it's respecting yourself and your environment to be clean. It's just washing your hands, washing your face, washing your private. It's it's not like a spiritual like, even in the Quran, they're like, "This isn't a" or maybe it wasn't the Quran, but it was a website. They were like, "When you're taking the shahada or when you're doing whatever, it's like, it's not gonna be like a spiritual experience." Like, they were like, "Don't think you're gonna feel the light or something." It's like, this is a, um, what do you call it? Like a ceremony or, what have you. Like, it's meaningful, but it's not, you're not gonna feel sparks or whatever. Like, I don't know maybe if I'm explaining it right, but it's just these are just tools to use to live a good life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I just I can't say it, and I think that's another reason why I won't talk about her because I just think she's vile, and I think she knows exactly what
That's
she's
the thing.
doing,
No, I
and
don't think so. I think she's really trying. Like she's put on that. Okay.
Okay, no, go on, go on. That's rude of me. I shouldn't do that. Go on.
You didn't even say anything and we're yelling, right?
I'm going to keep quiet. Go on, you say your bit. Go on,
You
you
know what?
say how
What
she's
did you say I was
trying.
gonna say? Say it for me, Jan, because now I want to say it.
No, go on. You say
It's
how she's trying.
it. She has the Quran now. Like it's not. Oh, I don't know. Because I feel like I'm about to just fall into a bunch of whatever. But it's just like, how else do you start but to take that first step? It's like she's not going to be a lifelong Muslim, 3 months in, 6 months in. So this is where she's at right now. And, hopefully just if she keeps going at it, like this is she hasn't even begun her first Ramadan. So I don't know. I think that she's missed um I think she hasn't really done the research. She doesn't really know what to expect. Um like she does like I could just tell from what I learned about cleaning yourself and the way she talks about cleaning that it's a it seems like her concept is a little off. Like she's not really practicing the way she's trying to imply that she is, right? I think that's what we see. But at the same time, it's like just because she's not doing it in the typical or traditional or the expected way doesn't mean that she's not trying to do it and doesn't mean that she won't eventually get there.
You know what I'd
Perhaps.
really like?
Hmm.
I'd like her to disappear for a year and then come back and show us what she's like now.
She's a
That's what I'd like.
YouTuber though. This is her
Yeah.
showing us her story, living her life. She's vlogging, Jan. This is what she does.
Yeah.
She's foodie.
Okay.
Foodie.
Yeah, you've got every right to think the way you think, and I'm not going to try and bash you into agreeing with what I say. That's not right. So I find it quite interesting, and I smile because I'm an idiot. Um, so, but yeah, let's just see. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we?
Right? Oh, all we have is time. What else are we doing?
Yeah,
So I'm just
yeah.
waiting to apply to the IRS, hopefully.
I
That
wanted
hiring, get you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, let's just see, Edna. Let's just see what happens, and I'll remember your words. But I
Don't hold
mean,
me to it. Because I
no, I
don't know,
won't hold
but
you to it,
yeah.
you silly thing. But what I wanted to do was show you how I prefer to act, or how I choose to act, um,
Okay.
to my haters. Um, Now I need to do this right because I don't want the sound to hang on one sec. Let
Okay,
me
no worries.
put, let me just share this.
Thank
Add
you,
to
young Thickums.
screen.
That's a fair and balanced viewpoint, Edna. I respect it. Thank you.
Yes, yes, that's good. I'm glad that people um maybe you just think, oh, Jan's on the hate train. No, I'm not. I just don't like her.
Oh, of course not. I love you, Jan.
Ah, but I can respect what you think and I find it interesting. But anyway, can
Mhm.
I just show you? I don't know what you're going to think of this, but
Okay.
I had the opportunity to go on to Fedora. Okay, remember I told you about
Mhm.
Fedora? Fedora chick who is one person who she was one of my doctors basically
Okay.
hates me, hates me so much because I won't I won't bend, you know, and I'll always call her out. I call, So anyway, she was giving it all large on her live stream. Oh yeah, Jan this, Jan that, Jan the other, da 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 da. Yeah, she
Mhm.
hasn't got the guts to come up and talk to me.
Uh-oh. You showed us who's
Uh,
boss?
uh, 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 uh. Anyway, hang on one sec. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Yeah, so she's like, yeah, she hasn't got the guts to do it and blah, blah, blah. So this is what happened. Now, can you tell me whether you can hear this? Hang on one sec. Right.
I can hear it.
Right, this is Fedora Chick, okay?
Okay.
This one is Fedora Chick, who has the nerve to call me names. Okay, right. Let's carry on. I keep meaning to tell you more, but here we go.
Jan's pukes is coming on. All right.
Right, did you hear that? She calls me Jan's pukes. I mean,
Oh,
what are
okay.
we? Are we 5?
Mm-hmm.
Are we 5?
So immature. Continue.
So anyhow, yeah.
QZ.
So she calls me Jan's pukes. Okay. I forgot there was oh yeah. So what I did was I put this video together and I put some poetry over the top of it. Okay. Here we go.
Jan is in the green room. We're gonna bring her on. All right.
Okay.
Jan's pukes is coming on. All right. I can do it.
Hello, my dear.
Jan is in the green room.
Hello, loser. You still at it? She kept blocking me. She kept turning my mic off. Guys, I went to the circus and had so much fun with Fedora and Hussy, Ginge, and everyone. Fedora was lying, nothing new there, and Hussy wore pink, I suspect, as a dare.
Oh, that's Hussy. Okay.
I decided to act clown. I danced to my own tune as the clowns threw their mud. Their words grew more angry as they bayed for my blood. I sang, Roll Britannia, full force and in tune, whilst the clowns' lack of humour got them confuddled very soon. See, can you see Hussy giving me the bird there? He
I
was so
did.
angry. He was so
Why was he
angry
mad?
because he hates me because I said he did
Jan?
blackface.
Oh, what do you think? Like, how do you do blackface? What do you mean by that?
Because he puts all this black, he makes himself look like a black person by putting all this
Oh,
dark makeup on. And then he said he does it as an homage to his old nanny. So, yeah.
mm,
Okay. Let's carry on.
okay.
They couldn't understand how their insults weren't landing. My giggles and laughter were beyond their understanding. Hussy got hateful. Ginge, not a clue. Fedora, as usual, didn't know what to do. Do you know what? That woman hasn't got a bloody clue. I'd find something to do. Take up knitting or something. I think that's probably better for you. You don't have to think too hard. Can you see Hussy? He's completely lost. He can't, because I've been on a panel with him before and all
Mm-hmm.
he's done is scream like swear words at me. And I thought, no,
Okay.
I'm not going to let that happen. And Fedora kept turning off my mic. That's why I was tapping on the mic.
Oh,
So
so silly.
this was a performance for them.
Right?
They didn't realise I've done acting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Exactly.
I want you to look at them, how they reacted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, young Thickums, go on my channel and you'll see I've done videos about blackface. I'm very serious about it.
Mm.
Anyway. So there we were on panel, a joyous bunch of 4, shades on the guys, God knows why, the confused clowns, perplexed more and more. They didn't have a bloody clue. They'd never met anyone that was going to be singing and dancing while they were trying to herd abuse. Oh, no, not I. You don't get away with it. Clock the time. Mind you, I will say, him at the bottom, he did see the funny side. He was
Who's at the
trying
very
to,
bottom?
but he did see the funny side of it. That's tragic. I mean,
Oh, okay, yeah.
they're all such horrible people, but you have to, anyway, that's how I chose to do it. But you'll see more people come on that you might recognize. Okay.
Okay.
And things did do a turnaround. Time when Ginger laughs. No idea why, but Hussey sat with a face like thunder. No humour in that guy. Look at him, look. Sulking. Yeah, I don't like this. Somebody else is getting the attention, and I don't like it. So I'm going to sit here looking like a complete moron, shaking my head with my shades on. But, as I said, Ginge laughed. Well done, Ginge. Maybe you have got a sense of humour. I then decided to show them all my hats because I like hats. And Hussey, he wears hats
Right.
all the time. And Fedora likes hats. So I'd prepared myself with some of my hats. So this is what is happening
Nice.
here. After all. Well done, mate. Well done. So I got my hats out. We then had a
I
hat
like
off,
that.
which I won hands down. Hussey groaned loudly about being outshone by someone. Get over it, Hussey. You're not all that. In fact, you're nothing. Anyway, that someone was me. No argument there. Fedora yelled like a nutter. But I didn't care. She kept turning off my mic. See, Fedora, look, she went and got all her hats.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. That's a cute little bowler hat.
Yeah, I've got loads of them. And look at Hussey, he doesn't know what to do. He was screaming abuse. Look at her, look.
That's so funny. Oh,
Oh,
who
and
was
then
that in the
this girl
bottom?
came on. I don't know who this was.
Oh, okay.
I just thought I was drunk. I wasn't. I don't need to drink to have a good time. That hat from DC Michigan.
This is so funny.
This is the best way to deal with these idiots. Now, do you know Bridget?
Are you
I
sick of
don't.
having issues with your web?
You don't know Bridget? Okay. Oh, I'm not going to explain who she is. Bridget, at the time, was having a thing with the guy at the bottom called Tragic.
Oh,
And
okay.
Bridget had she'd not been that mean to me, but she was on the verge, I'd say. So Hussey went off in a huff, and which was quite funny. And then Tragic went off because they knew they weren't getting anywhere with me. Which left me and Bridget and this other woman didn't have a clue who she was. Anyway, I'll continue it.
Webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If so,
there's Bridget. It's Alex.
yes.
Alex! Do you know Alex?
I don't. Okay, he's the
You
one in
little
the green.
shit. What? So you don't know any of these people? Oh, okay.
Probably
Okay.
know you.
Right now, irate
Hey,
Alex.
Hussey.
Irate Alex gets me. Okay.
Okay.
So, and he gets my humour, maybe because he's British as well. Now, the funny
Oh,
thing
okay.
is, she kept bringing all these people on thinking that they were going to have a go at me. She really wanted to see me floored or crying or something, but it didn't turn out that way. And she was like completely, look at the state of her. She was completely foxed. So Alex turned,
Wow.
okay, having a go at the old people. Stop it. Then came the part irate Alex dropped by. They thought there'd be carnage, and I would just cry. The shock on their faces when I called him a shit, and irate Alex just giggled at it. His time at the circus, although rather short, gave many a titter. No battle was fought. And look at her. Look, she
I
know what to
applied
do.
lipstick, fedora donned hats. The laughter was flowing. The clowns were defeated, and I was happy with that.
This Steph turns up everywhere. Can't make up her mind who she likes or doesn't like. I can't believe you look like that.
Be a clown all you want to, but bring it with love. A clown filled with hate just ain't funny enough. Clowning is an art form, not a vehicle for slander. We all need some laughter as we stroll and meander. I'm sorry, that was really bad. That was a terrible rhyme at the end. I couldn't find another word to rhyme with slander. And then I've suddenly realised I don't say slander, I say slander. So then the word would have been meander, which didn't make sense. Okay, yeah. So I'll leave you with this. Let's
Right.
hope the words flow. Clowns thrive on laughter wherever they go. So choose your clown wisely and see what they bring. A clown with no comedy has no place in the ring.
Anyway, guys, it's been wonderful. As always, it's been wonderful. And I want to say to you guys, thanks for being nice. And I mean that because sometimes you go into people's lives and they're not very nice, especially to me. And I'm only trying to have a laugh. I'm only trying to say, hi, how you doing? And they're like, oh, that Jan's review, she's this, she's that, she's horrible. And I'm not like that at all. Nutty, that's what I am. Nutty as a fruitcake. And I'm quite happy being. Okay. So that's how I handle people. If they're clowns, then I act like a clown. And do
Right.
you know what? It was so much better. I could have gone in there angry because she was my doxer. So I could have
Wow.
gone in there angry and, screaming and, hollering and swearing the way Hussy would have done. But no, I don't do that. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Well,
And
I don't know if you
yeah,
like how it used to be in the UK, but I remember when I was a kid, we used to actually have phone books with your whole name, address, phone
yeah.
number. You look it up public, you know what I mean? It's like
I-
it's so weird how we like our mind has changed where, information that used to be like not a big deal to have is now, doxing. But I get it, you have to be safe.
You
It's
know,
just very interesting.
it was easy for me to be
Mm,
doxxed. It was because I'm an artist. I have art sites that I've posted before.
so it was easy to find me. Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
I understand what you're saying.
do you know what I mean? Because, and
Mhm.
some of my sites, I use my real name in there, which is Jan something something. Um, so Fedora didn't have to look very far for that.
Right.
I
It's
know
just
it was
like, why do
her.
you need to look, period? That's the thing. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah, that's and I think that's where kind of where I think the conversation is, where it's like, let's just stop looking.
Hmm. Wouldn't that be wonderful? But the problem was, it wasn't just me they wanted. They knew they want to. I think what it is they want to hurt more than you. They want to, they want to be chipping away at your Achilles heel, and they knew that I had children. So somebody took the time to go on to. I'd never named my children. I've never named them online, and
Oh,
they
wow, I
took,
see what you're saying.
yeah. So they put my name in to
Mhm.
Facebook and linked my children. So when they did that video, um, threatening threatening my kids, they had pictures of the kids on there. Um,
Mhm.
and they're grown up now. I'm a nanny. So yeah, it does go a lot deeper than,
Right.
and I think, people like Fedora are really quite dangerous, because to go to that depth, um, there's something
Do you
wrong,
think she understood what that meant at the time?
Oh, 100%. Why else would she
Okay.
do it? Why would she do it? Why does
Not
anybody do it?
mm, exactly.
I mean,
'Cause it doesn't make any sense, but I mean, I couldn't imagine why because it's like, would she really intend for you to be hurt? Like, that's my mindset is like, I just think that it was, you know, ha is it taken down? Like, is it still up? Is that the issue?
it was no, it was taken down immediately,
Okay.
but not before other people saw it.
Right.
Um, and, came in my DMs and said, "Oh my God, you should see, such and such." And yeah, I'm not going to say it wasn't hard. It was horrible, but it was more horrible for my kids, because
Right.
they don't understand it. And it's like, when if I make friends with people online and I tell them what happened, they're like, "What? Who would do that?" Well, the reality is there are lots of people that would do that. And I think, if we go, I don't know if you know very much about Next, um, but he's the
No, I
type
don't.
of person, yeah, he's the type of person to do it. Um, he hates me, because I've called him racist, because I believe he is. I don't call people something that I don't believe in, and I do
Right.
believe he's racist.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, you say that, it's like we live in a racist society, so
we
you know what I
do.
mean?
We know that, don't we? As Black
R
women, we know
Yeah.
we live in a racist society across the world, you know?
So you think when I'm talking to my managers and my coworkers, my manager called me a whole other. There's only a couple of us on the team, right? And he calls me her name. I talked to my work friend like, believe this nonsense. I don't look anything like her. We have two totally different schedules. But what can I say? I'm
What
just
is it?
like, no, sir, that's not me. Hello, and then you
What
move forward.
was that because you're both Black?
Yeah, just because I'm a black woman. But do I think he intentionally meant that to be like X, Y, and Z? No. He has a team of 20 people and he is quickly trying to get on. I'm new on the team. I don't know about her, but like I think like my manager, I have no doubt that he wants the best for me. honestly. Like, I told him what I was interested in with the company, and he made sure to get that information to me. And I see that with everyone on the team. And he is a great manager. But if you look at optics in that one little situation, I could be like, I hate this man, X, Y, and Z, whoop de whoop. But that's not the situation.
I know. I mean, one of the other things that I didn't like about Alex was that he said that, oh, there's no racism, in the UK. Now he's mixed race as well. And,
Oh, okay.
we had some words over that, and I said,
I'm
"What are you
sure.
talking about?" I live every day knowing that, I'm a black woman in a white country, so to speak. Things have improved. Yeah, of course they have. But you still face racism every day. And as I'm sure you do as well. So for him to sort of come out and he turns everything into a joke and blah de blah. And there
Mhm.
was a time that he was calling me names and saying, this, that, and the other. And I just thought he's just an idiot. I didn't like
Mm.
him at all. But then something happened that made me see him in a different light. He's got MS. Now, I've got a good friend, a neighbor that has also got MS.
That's a woman I
I'm
follow on YouTube who has it. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
a little
so
familiar with it. Yeah.
yeah, so he has MS quite badly, and he
Mm.
has spoken quite a lot about his struggle with it, and also the
Mhm.
mental side of it. Um,
I can imagine. Yeah.
feeling that his life was just taken away from him, and I'm very empathetic. I can't help it, even though people have
Right.
joked
Yeah.
about that. Oh, Jan's not empathetic. Well, okay. Um, so anyway, I could really feel for him, and then one day, DC said something that was just so awful, absolutely dreadful, uh, that I looked at her and thought, "I don't think I can I can be around you anymore." And,
Mhm.
she sort of it's just
Did you
awful.
say something to her?
Um, I can't remember if I did or not, to be honest with
That's
you.
the thing that I like because I'm the kind of person, if I 100% understand, like, if like, I rub people the wrong way. But my thing is, let me know. You know what I mean? If it's something
Yeah,
where you're like, "You're rubbing me the wrong way, can you fix it?" Let me know what it is, maybe I can. But, if I don't know anything, what's going on, maybe I might think it's completely fine. And I don't know, that's just one of my personal, pet peeves. Is like, I don't know, just please speak
yeah.
up, say something.
Well, she found out what I thought because I went over to Alex. Um, I think I went in his live stream one day and I just told him, "I'm so, so sorry," what she said. And, of course, they were all haters in there. "Oh, what's she doing in here? Blah, blah, blah." And you know what? He actually
But,
said, "Leave Jan alone. Jan's
"Oh, okay,
based,"
nice."
which didn't mean anything to me. I don't know what based means. Um,
I don't know what these kids are talking about, on God, on God. What is this?
I
Jen Alpha, are you out there? Can
know,
you help us?
I know. So
Give us a cheat sheet.
he addressed his chat and said, "Leave Jan alone." I've
Mhm.
never received any insults in there ever since that day.
Nice.
And I just went in and I think I super chatted him and I just said, "Uh, Alex, I'm just absolutely appalled by what she said to you." She said something along the lines of, "Oh, well, I may be this and that, but at least, I haven't got MS as my karma, you know. His
Oh,
karma,
wow.
his karma is that he's got
Mm.
MS." And that hit me to the core because
Mhm.
I am an empath and my family members have suffered really badly with, terrible diseases. And I just couldn't believe that somebody could say something like that to another
Mhm.
person on YouTube and think that that was okay. I just thought it was you can tell by the way I'm almost speechless now. I couldn't believe that somebody could be that vitriolic to
Right.
somebody. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, well, he doxed me. He did this, he did that." And I thought, "But don't you see that's an entirely different thing?" He never threatened your children or threatened you in any way. He may have said where you lived or whatever, but to say something like that to another human being who, as a healthy young man, lost everything due to
Mhm.
a disease or an illness is
There's a level of awareness that you would just expect her to have that is,
yeah,
yeah, just not
exactly.
there. Yeah, and it's shocking. I hear you.
Yeah, I was absolutely blown away. And luckily, Alex somehow realized that even though he'd called me horrible names in the past and I'd sort of come for him a little bit, and said, "Oh, you're just stupid," or whatever, um,
Right.
he knew that I meant it. And I got a lot of stick from some of his fans earlier on, but I can now go in there and feel much more comfortable because I go in there to support him. you
Mhm.
know, I don't want him to
Right.
think that I'm only in there because I pity him. I go in there as a humanitarian and I see the struggle he goes through
Mhm.
on a daily basis because he quite often, speaks on it on Twitter and how things are tough and, he's in a wheelchair and he can't do this and he
Yeah.
can't do that. Um, But all these people these really, really hateful people, they don't see that, Edna. And I find that's mind blowing to me because at the end of the day, it's like you said earlier, we're all people,
Mhm.
we've all got our lives. And anyway, he split from his wife um, a
Oh,
year
wow.
or so ago. And
Mhm.
but he's now got a new girlfriend who's online with
Okay.
him. And funnily enough, she's on my block list, and I don't know why. So I think she must have come for me at some point, but it
So
doesn't matter.
funny.
But
You might
so
have to reassess that block list now, huh?
I may take her off the block list, because she's been quite sweet to me in his chat now. But anyway,
That's nice.
but now DC is saying things like, "Oh, no wonder your life left you. Um, oh, was it because you couldn't do it, or is it because of this? Oh, yeah, well, he's obviously lacking in that department and blah." And I'm like, leave the man alone. Just leave him alone with your
Right.
bloody vitriol and your hatred. That goes beyond, for me, that goes beyond any kind of online fallout you may have.
What is she addressing? Like, what does she feel like she needs to speak on?
I don't
Like,
know.
oh, okay,
I
because
don't
I mean, like, is he
know.
saying something to her, or is he putting something
No,
out that she feels
no.
like, yeah.
He on his let me get it for you. On his and then we'll have to go because we've been on here way too long again. Your
Mhm.
fault. Right, let me find him
It
on
was
my
my fault today. It's the tax
Twitter.
season.
Ah,
I said
what?
it's the tax season. It's busy. We have about a month left, and then I'll be free.
Right. Okay, let me just see if I can find this to show. Let's look for him. Oh no, it's Irate Alex. He's called Irate Alex. Listen, you might not like him. He's quite political, and
Is he? Oh, he's in the UK.
oh,
Okay.
I've got him. Why have I got him blocked on there? I'll have to unblock him. I know I've got him blocked on there. Anyway, so a little while he says the most ridiculous things on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, Alex, for God's sake, you know, I don't like. And the funny thing is, I've told him this. I say, Alex, your Twitter is like a cesspool, but he accepts. I don't know, for some reason he's accepted
I
me.
can't do
And
Twitter. I haven't. Yeah,
right, hang
like
on,
when
I'm
you,
going
I
to
heard
show
you saying,
you. I'm going to show you his Twitter. Okay, hang
okay.
on 1 second.
I was
And
just
I
gonna
just want
talk while
to
you're pulling it up.
go on. You can talk.
Oh no, I'm just gonna say that's why I'm not on Twitter is because it's I found it also a cesspool.
Oh God, yes, it can be. Absolutely. 100%. Right, so this is Alex. Right, now, the other
Mhm.
day, when was it? He actually put up a long, where are we? Yeah, we need to go further down. Right, that's DC, look.
Oh.
Look deep into my eyes. Happy birthday, Alex. Oh God, she's just
So
awful.
actually, it wasn't Nick's, but it was the situation with Alex that kind of caused the distance between you two.
What? Sorry?
I
Sorry?
said I was under the impression it was DC kind of teaming up or I guess connecting with Nick's, but it
Yeah.
seems like it's more of the irate Alex comment is what
No,
created the
well,
separation.
that was we hadn't split up then. I was still sort of, being civil to
Oh, so
her.
maybe Next was more of
Negs was the
the
main
final straw.
reason. Yeah, let's not beat
Okay.
about the bush. Anyway, he put up, where is it? What date are we? 22nd. I think it was before
Yes.
then. He put up this thread where he was explaining what happened between him and his wife.
Okay.
Because he's got a couple of kids. Well, I think one of them is not his, biologically. Um,
Okay. I'm
oh,
getting the vibe of I'm getting that political vibe I think you warned me about.
what, by looking at his, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I think I'm seeing it.
he is. Don't look at his Twitter. He's awful on Twitter.
Goodness.
Really dreadful. And I've told him that as well. But he kind of gets me.
Mhm.
Um, right, hang on. Right, there's Negs, right?
Mhm.
That's Negs, and that's Tragic. That
Oh,
was the
okay.
one that was on my chat that I called, that
Mhm.
was on that video that I
He
called
looks good
Ginge.
there. Yeah. It's called Oh, okay.
Right, hang on 1 sec, and then we'll go. I've got to find it now, haven't I? Got to find it.
Oh, samosas. I'm hungry.
I didn't oh, there he is with his new girlfriend,
Oh,
which I think is
nice.
really sweet. Look,
Mhm. They look happy.
there's nothing of him, bless him,
Mhm.
you know?
Mm.
And you have to
Mhm.
remember, he was in the forces. Was he in the Navy or the Army? No, but yeah, he was in the British Army. Um, right, hang on a minute. Right, I saw. He says that it doesn't bother him, the things that she says, but I don't know. It bothers me.
Mhm. Well, I mean,
Uh,
it might bother you. It might maybe listen, if I had MS, I wouldn't be concerned with what people on the internet had to say, to be honest. So it probably doesn't bother him.
yeah, he says it doesn't. Hang on. I want to find it now. That's tragic.
Mhm.
And the reason why I got upset by some of the things that he said, like she started calling him a cripple. Now I know he calls himself that sometimes, but that's his humor. And you may call yourself something, but it doesn't mean to say that that gives everybody else the green light to call you that,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Absolutely.
that's what
I
I
would
thought.
never.
Exactly. It's just such a horrible, horrible word. Right, hang on. See, she's coming for him. Even Alex, you've said multiple times that you were one of the original people in blood sports, and the Q-Mite was part of that community. Oh, come on.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
What?
The mask looks like balls.
It's quite good going through people's Twitters on here.
I was
Right.
not ready for that. That was quite good.
Right, DC. Oh, I mean, some of the things he says, but the thing is, I have told him. I said, I just think using the C word is awful, and you called her that, you know. But she has gone. See,
You know,
look,
that word isn't super offensive, but I think that's just like a generational thing, maybe. I don't know. Because I mean, it doesn't really
doesn't offend you. It
it
really
doesn't offend me.
offends me.
Like the B word would offend me way more than someone calling me a C word.
What the female dog?
Right.
Really?
I would be more offended if someone called me that than if someone like I
Really?
wouldn't be offended with either. I'd be, I don't know.
I
But it
find that
depends. I mean, of course, it
really.
depends on the context. But I'm not really like a person to get offended.
Wow,
But if I, oh
I find
really?
that really strange. Yeah. See, I'm not offended by the B word. In fact, I was going to say it just then,
Mm.
but the C
Well,
word
I
I
didn't
think is
know. Yeah.
awful.
Hmm.
Right,
I
3
don't know.
more
It just
minutes.
doesn't mean anything to me. It has no context.
Really?
Yeah, it's like someone coming, like run up to me and calling me like purple or something. I'm like, okay, like I know what it is, and
What? What the C word? The see you next Tuesday word?
exactly. I know what it is. I know what its intended meaning is, whatever. But if you call me that, I'm not going to be offended.
Oh, isn't that funny? I
Hmm.
can't find it. Anyway, he wrote this really long thread explaining um that him and his wife had split, and saying, but you know, he's there for his kids and blah de blah. And I was really surprised that he was so open about it. But I think the thing that really um upset me was the way she then used it as a way to come back at him. And I was like, Jesus,
What
you
did
know,
he say?
she needs to go out. Pardon?
I said, what did he say? Because maybe she felt that he made her look bad.
Right. No, he didn't say anything about her.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
Well,
This is the
maybe she
thread.
didn't want him to say anything.
Pardon?
I said maybe
No,
he didn't. Maybe she didn't want anything said.
he didn't. Yeah, but it's none of her business. This was Alex putting a thread to his followers explaining that he's split with his wife. Okay.
Hmm.
Right. My relationship and marriage to Vanilla Bear has been semi-public since I started YouTube back in 2016. So it is only natural, with both us agreeing, that we announce that our marriage has come to an end. We remain amicable. The decision itself was mutual. We work together now solely to be the best parents we can to our children. The split occurred back in 2021 during the summer. The decision to split was based upon many factors. These issues are private and we both do not wish to share. I moved out and into my own apartment at the end of August 2022. VB was helpful during this process. There is no bad blood.
I know that despite my lack of online presence in recent months, I still remain a semi-public figure and so request that no one under any circumstances should attack VB. I also understand that there are people online who despise me and will use this as a kind of gotcha. If this happens, I humbly ask that no one take offence on our behalf and respond to any personal attacks or attempts at slander. So here he's explaining, what's happened. I won't read all of it, but that's
Okay.
basically it. And all he's got back from her is, oh, because you couldn't do this in the bedroom. You couldn't do that in the bedroom. You couldn't do this. Um,
Oh, she got messy.
yeah. Yeah, so
Interesting.
after all that was just, the point I was trying to make about hostilities and how they go too far, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just, if you don't like someone, then don't like them, but you don't have to keep attacking. So, anyway, I
Hard to
think
walk away though. To reel yourself in and just be like to sit still with it. That's tough to do.
tell me about it, but then maybe just laugh. That's what I
That
do.
too.
When I go in
Mm-hmm.
and someone says, "Oh, you're this, that, and the other," I'm like, "Yeah, all right then." Whatever. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thank you for giving up another 2 hours of your time.
Look, thank you so much, Jan. This was wonderful. Thank you, chat.
It's
Anyone on the
just nice.
replay, like up the stream on you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get many in, but hey, it doesn't, it's just nice to chat about different things, and we do. We chat about anything. You have a lovely rest of your week,
You too.
Edna.
Thank you, Jan.
And I will see
Bye.
you around in the corridors and the rooms of YouTube. Take care of yourself. And to everybody else, thank you so much for coming. And for those who have taken the time to watch the replay, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. You take care of yourselves. It's a rotten old world. Bye bye for now.